know that I was gender fluid until like, I want to say like a couple years ago.
Really?
I definitely was more exploring like my sexuality back in high school, which was like 9 years ago.
Okay.
When I graduated. Don't do the math too hard on that.
I won't.
I didn't know what non-binary was when I was in high school. That was something like once I got to college, and my best friend and I from high school kind of were catching up on the year, and they were like, I want to use they them pronouns now. I'm non-binary. And like that was, I think, the first time I had ever like heard of what that was. And it's so crazy now to think that like kids who are in high school now, it's like it's not a foreign concept to them, but like even in high school, like coming out as, I initially came out as bisexual, which was incorrect, but you know, it's a journey for everybody. But I think if I had, I don't think anybody would have been like restrictive about it. I think especially like my parents, whenever I've come out to them, which obviously has been multiple times as I've been on the journey from like bisexual to lesbian to then also gender fluid, I always felt really supported by everyone in my life, which I know is a really great privilege.
That's really sweet to hear. Very happy to hear that you got that.
Yeah.
Actually, to jump off of that with your, because I was surprised when I first found out about you, and you know, I went to your socials and in all of your bios you have they, she. I'm surprised by that because you are often so femme presenting, and I mean, part of your income is like embodying the sort of stereotypical height of femininity, which is a Disney princess. So could you speak a little bit more about what it's like navigating gender expression as somebody who is gender fluid but leans more femme presenting?
Ooh. Yeah, I mean, it's being like hyper femme almost feels like my drag. I used to think, oh, drag is a man dressing up as a woman. And like after you watch enough seasons of Drag Race, you realize it's not really as black and white as that.
Right.
You don't have to just be a feminine girl or a masculine boy. Like there can be, it's a spectrum, a color wheel, kind of. I've been exploring with like what feels right in terms of, I'm really expressive with like clothing and hair and makeup in terms of like showing the world like who I am and that kind of thing. And so I definitely have struggled with the like, oh, I hate everything in my closet right now. I don't like how I look in anything. I wish I looked like this instead of that. And then the next day I'll be like, oh no, I love this. I want to wear this. And it's something that has helped me is kind of perceiving that hyper femininity as drag, because dressing up like a princess for work or it's like hyper feminine, like my Glinda cosplay, that's like the height of femininity is Glinda from Wicked, is like a side of my gender expression that feels very much like my way of doing drag. And so then when I'm not that hyper feminine kind of character in my everyday life, I feel like I don't put as much pressure on myself to be necessarily like androgynous or feminine or masculine, but just like this is just another side of my drag.
Wow. That is such an interesting way of looking at it.
I mean, I'm still navigating it. It's still kind of weird where I think sometimes I feel pressure to present a certain way because I identify as gender fluid, where I'm like, should I be looking more androgynous? Should I be dressing more masculine? But there's kind of no right or wrong way to do it. And so I think realizing that you can't get it wrong. It's your own gender, it's your own experience, but takes a lot of the pressure off of it for me. And it's just like, hey, just do you.
You make all of your own cosplays, yeah?
For the most part, yeah, I try to. Unless it's something really hard that I don't know how I would make it.
Such as?
But I kind of have, my toxic trait is that I look at anything and I go, I could make that.
Yeah. Such is the way of the artist. Never done it before, I'm gonna nail it. No. But for the most part, as I'm getting better as a seamstress and prop maker and wig styler, I try to make as much of my costumes as possible. What ends up happening is I'll make something and then like a year or two later I'll be like, oh, my skills have improved, I'm just gonna make it again. Nice. That's why I have about 800 different Rapunzel cosplays in my closet. Would you say that Rapunzel is like a top 3 Disney princess for you?
Oh, she's top 1.
Absolutely,
That's my girl.
as she should
Well,
be.
because she's an artist, which I am, very clearly autistic, let's be honest.
So autistic.
She's like besides Mulan, I think the first princess I looked at and I was like, that's me. My dad watched Tangled recently and he told me afterwards, he's like, I was watching it and that's just you. Nice. Like, that's Sydney. And I was like, that's so funny. Thanks, Dad. That's the best compliment you could have given me.
Absolutely.
But if Rapunzel and Mulan had a love child, it would be me.
What a combo.
Yeah.
That is a top tier combo right there. What is the closest you've gotten with a con crunch?
Probably that Glinda wand.
Okay.
Glinda wand.
For the audience, could you explain what a con crunch is?
Okay, so a con crunch is when you wait until the absolute last second to either like finish some large part of your cosplay or even just start. Which, like, I've been to some conventions where, like, I'm in the hotel room with my friends, and they're there with the hot glue gun.
I was about to say it, the hot glue gun.
With the hot glue gun, like, finishing things, and I'm like, ooh. I try to not do that because I stress too hard.
Yeah.
The only time that I really con crunched was with that Glinda wand because it turned out to be, like, more difficult to find the materials for it than
What
I
are the
anticipated.
materials?
Because it's a clear rod. Like, the whole thing is one long clear rod. I kind of mistakenly thought that maybe I could just like get like a mop handle or like a broom handle or something. They don't sell those. My friend Avery and Avery is the one who crafted most of the wand because he has a whole workshop of stuff like a lathe and power saw and all those things, and he like did all the detailing on the rod. But what we ended up finding was like 2 toilet plunger handles from Home Hardware that were clear.
Nice.
And stuck them together, and then that's what we ended up using. So the Glinda wand that we made is 2 toilet plunger handles.
Nice.
A pink ball that is from, you know, when you fill up those things and you put it in the plant so that it waters it regularly?
Yeah. The watering bulbs.
And then all of the spikes are like icicle Christmas tree decorations.
That is so clever.
Like shaved down to different lengths and
Mm.
stuff, and then stuck in there.
Wow.
But it was very much like it was for Fan Expo of last year, and he brought it to me like the night before.
Wow. Okay.
Which
Cutting
was,
it close.
so it was
but
like
got
it was within 12 hours of me showing up at the con that he was still like doing different things on the lathe with it. So shout out to Avery at Flack Props, because he's a genius.
Wow.
And now we're working together on a digital circus thing for this coming Fan Expo.
Am I allowed to ask who?
Pomni.
Excellent.
Yeah, so if you see a Pomni riding around in a little Tykes car from Glitch Carts, that's gonna be me.
The theme of characters, recently you had mentioned at the top that you worked with CCMP, which is City Center Musical Productions.
Yeah.
You starred as Emma Nolan in their production of The Prom back in March. Did you find that you at all related to her differently than you've related to Mike Bump, differently than other characters because of her identity? Do you find it was similar?
I kind of got to play the blueprint for Emma's character a few years back because I did a show called Fun Home. I think my typecast in musical theater has really shifted from like the princessy ingenue character to like awkward little lesbian. And I'm very thrilled about that. But there's also a very similar character to Emma Nolan in Fun Home, which is like a college age lesbian in the 80s who was discovering her sexuality. I would say that Allison, the character in Fun Home, is also very gender fluid and like is more on the androgynous side of things. And I tried to bring that out in Emma as well. Emma and I are so stupidly similar. Yeah, I think in high school I was that like very anxious, awkward kind of character who was really trying to figure out who she was. She is out, but her girlfriend is not. And so this idea of having to hide a part of yourself that is so big and monumental and you want to shout it out. I mean, it's literally called pride.
Right.
Definitely related to having girlfriends who are not out. So I feel like that was very easy to kind of, I think that's the character that I've played that has felt truest to me is Emma. And I got to wear a lot of my own clothes.
Nice.
So I got to make her as kind of like androgynous and kind of quirky as I felt like. And just, I got to wear a suit instead of a dress to the prom, which was awesome.
That sounds awesome.
Gender euphoria for real. It's lovely to be in a cast full of queer people of all ages and genders and sexualities, and just to feel that like safeness and community there in a show. I mean, it's musical theater, so like you're never gonna go like more than a few steps before finding a gay person.
Yeah. I'm interested about your use of the term safety. In what, is there a particular kind of safety that you feel? Like a safety to express yourself, a safety to confide in others, something like that?
Yeah, I think safety just to play and explore those things without feeling like, I mean, the safer you feel in an environment, the more you feel comfortable to just make those choices, whether they read well or they don't read well. Those kind of with the director's idea of the show, or it doesn't. Like, hey, can I just make this like really gay this moment? Like, can I do a little, and it's like, you know, I think you always feel more comfortable to be like, hey, can I play around with this and add more of myself to this? Some environments you might not feel that kind of like, not unsafe, but just not really welcome to play.
You really can't act when you're stiff.
No.
Yeah.
No, unless you're supposed to be stiff.
Right.
In which case, then that's method in the way that you don't want it to be.
Right.
Luckily, in Mississauga, I have always felt so safe.
That's great.
With these theater companies. And I've worked with theater companies where I did not feel that way, which is why I keep coming back here. Because
we're happy to have you. We're very happy to have you. Yeah, you make for an excellent addition to the arts community here. Very happy to have you. You said that you're primarily a singer. Do you have a memory of one of your favorite performances that you've ever done?
Ooh, going back to that show Fun Home. I think that is like the best show that I have been a part of. Like, I'm so proud of that show, and there's a song that my character got to sing in that show called Changing My Major. So much the queer experience and queer joy in that song. And there's so much hope and conflict and anxiety and like euphoria in that song, and I just love it. And I got to be really belty about it.
Nice.
Which is always fun.
It's always fun.
Always fun. Give me a mezzo belt song at any time of the day. More recently, this wasn't like a singing performance, but I got to play Peter Pan, which is every gender fluid and non-binary person's dream.
Absolutely.
Peter Pan is gender fluidity. In my brain. In my brain. Peter Pan has been played by every gender of person. Like, and he's also like the boy that never grew up. And I don't know, I just really like Peter Pan. And so it was a dream of mine to play him. Nice. And so just that whole show. Also very gender fluid in its casting. And so it was really fun to get to play with that. As like, oh, there's not necessarily a gender assigned to this character. We're all just playing make-believe.
How long have you been regularly doing work in Mississauga?
Since 2019,
okay.
I want to say.
So
I followed, I followed some friends of mine that I worked with in Newmarket on The Little Mermaid. Out here to do the Addams Family musical with Clarkson. All right. Because I loved working with those people. Shout out to Rob and Bob. And so I followed them out here because I really loved the show and I just wanted to work with them again. And I got to play Wednesday, which was super fun because it was entirely out of my wheelhouse. All I had played up until then were like the sweet kind of like ingenue princessy characters.
They're like preppy type?
And then I was like in completely new territory, barely knew anybody doing the show besides like the directors and my Morticia. Shout out to Mary, who I love. Nice. Working with those people really healed my relationship with theater I just had not had great experiences in community theater prior to that.
Right.
And I'm very grateful for that, because they were lovely, and they really just kind of were like, you're family now. I was like,
That's fantastic.
here's my goal. Put me in all the tenor roles.
Okay.
Make me like the annoying man role in every show.
Nice.
That's my goal, is to actually never have to kiss another tenor again, but to be the tenor.
Very nice.
A thing that I've been wondering since coming out as gender fluid and exploring that side of myself is, where do I fit here now? Like, what do I audition for? Where do I, like, is there still a place for me outside of like the anxious little lesbian character, or like some sort of non-binary character, which, let's be honest, there really aren't many of yet. There are some, but like I could count them on one hand. I've had this debate with my friends the past few years of like, a woman could probably be cast in like most of these traditional male roles in theater, and it would still be fantastic. But the problem for me is that sometimes it makes a character a little bit more sympathetic when it's played by a woman, because I'm like, no, let her do what she wants.
I support women's wrongs.
Where I'm like, no, like, you can't cast a woman as Gaston, because I'm not supposed to side with Gaston. You can't do that.
You can't.
I'm gonna be like Belle, because
You're gonna
if you cast a woman as Gaston and then you cast me as Belle, I couldn't act that.
Absolutely not.
I couldn't
I'm
be
supposed
like,
to turn
no.
down a tall, buff lesbian? Are you kidding me?
So it works sometimes and it doesn't sometimes, you know what I mean? The binary of characters in theater is breaking down a little bit. I see a lot more like open gender things in casting calls, which makes me very happy, and I'd like more of that.
Nice.
I think it can extend beyond shows that are queer shows, to just, let's play with this in any show.
Yeah.
That's kind of the idea of art in general, is like, let's play with this. Let's see what happens if we change this, if we do this and that. So, not just because it would serve me. I think
that does help.
Would serve a lot of people.
Yeah.
So.
Are you pushed towards any kind of like altruism in your art? With what you just said, it wouldn't just help me, but it would help other people. Do you have any particular goals when it comes to what you do with your art on a social level?
Oh, I've always wanted to be like the representation that I didn't have when I was younger, because like I also remember being younger and getting into musical theater for the first time. I was probably like 11 or 12. And being like, this is amazing, and all of the actors that I look up to are white, and that's great, but I didn't have a whole lot of Asian actors to be like, oh, I could do that. And then those Asian actors were in shows where it was like, oh, this character is Asian, or the character was like, oh, it's Les Mis, and this is a dirty, poor person, and so we cast people of color in this character, and I'm like, And so I've always wanted to kind of like be the proof that that doesn't have to be the case in casting, that, you know, somebody who's, I mean, I'm mixed, and so that kind of also I've been on a journey of like, again, where do I fit?
Right.
Because I'm maybe not Asian enough for some things and not white enough for other things.
Yeah. Mixed
And
gang,
so,
let's go.
Yeah, let's go. The solution is not to try and find somewhere where you fit. It's to carve open a space for yourself, because that opens doors for other people. My mom never let me get discouraged by being different. She always was like, that is your strength, and you are going to open doors for other people by achieving your dreams and being the representation that you don't have right now. It's because you're not there yet, but when you get there, then people who are like you, who are younger, will never feel like they can't do it. Because my mom was awesome.
Your mom sounds awesome.
Yeah.
One more question, because this is the first time that I personally have ever met a professional princess. So could you indulge me and the audience, but mostly me, a day in the life?
Oh God. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, it looks glamorous. It ain't.
It's not.
A day in the life of a party princess. Okay, I'll go through my one of my recent weekends.
Okay.
Get up hella early.
How early are we talking?
I think my first party was at 10 a.m. So I think I got up at like 6:30.
Okay.
That's early for me. 6:30
Fair.
or 7. I don't want to be out of bed before 9. But alas, the life of a working girl. Saturday, party number 1, 10 a.m. Barbie. You get into full drag.
Okay.
You are in full drag at like 8 a.m. It's not fun.
Wow.
You have to load up all of your supplies. That's like makeup, tattoos, storybook, magic bag, all of the things that you're gonna have at your party into your suitcase. You have to, I have a playlist of music to play at every party. So you have to queue up the Barbie playlist, you have to hook up your Bluetooth speaker, you have to go to the party, go and do that party. Once you finish that party, you got another one in an hour. I get into the car, I put up my dressing room, which is like, I have things for all of my windows that like magnetize to the car so that like,
So like the stuff that people put on the windows to like block the sun out?
It's supposed to keep heat out.
Yeah.
And then you're changing from Barbie into a K-pop demon hunter. And
That
then
is so different. Which one?
all of them, baby. All of them. I did, so a recent Saturday, I did Barbie, and then I did Mira, and then I did Zoe.
Whoa.
3 is the most parties I've had in a day, though I think my boss has done 5 before.
Wow.
Your eyebrows are gonna go on a journey, so they go from blonde to pink.
Nice.
Go to the Mira party, do the Mira party, get back into the car, put all of the dressing room up again, change into Zoe, pink to black brows.
Wow.
Drive to the Zoe party, do the Zoe party, go home.
Where do you keep all of these?
My trunk.
How big is your trunk?
It's not big enough.
But what kind
It's
of
a
car do you have?
Subaru.
Of course.
Of course it is.
Is it a Forester?
No. No, I'm not quite that stereotypical, but I do drive a Subaru. My trunk hasn't been empty since 2022.
Wow.
Because it's every costume and wig. It's so that I don't forget anything,
Right.
basically. Because
Do you keep like every person that you play, do
Yeah.
you keep all of their stuff in there at
Yeah.
all times?
Yeah.
How many people do you play?
Two
The look you gave me.
different Elsas.
2.
On I've got like 2 different, like I have her white dress from Frozen 2, and then I
Yep.
have like her travel dress from Frozen 2.
Okay.
Anna, Rapunzel, Belle, Cinderella, Snow White, Aurora, Ariel, Barbie, Tinkerbell, the 3 K-pop girls. Oh, I think I have another Barbie. So that's 15. I'm
I feel
organized.
like the wigs alone would take up so much
Yeah,
space.
they're in like boxes
Wow.
on wig heads, so they take up
on
most
wig
of the,
heads?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
not even like bagging them or
No,
anything.
well, because they're styled.
Right.
You can't.
Yeah.
You can't. You have
Is
to
it-
like keep them.
It's just like
They're
2%
gonna lose their
hair,
shape and
98% like got to be glue, glue
Oh,
hairspray.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And it is very rewarding. Like I love working with kids, so like it is very rewarding. And like again, it's like I will do a lot of parties for like little Asian kids, and I'm Elsa. I'm like a Disney queen. Young enough that like now they're never gonna feel like, oh, I can't
Yeah.
be that because I met Elsa and she looks like me. Like they
Yeah.
won't clock like, oh yeah, that girl's Chinese. But like they will clock that like a princess can look like anybody. And I think that's so important. And so, I mean, we're talking like altruistic reasons and stuff, but like
Yeah.
I never would have had that growing up. Like, I don't even think you could like, I mean, people still don't book Mulan, but like, you know, if I was having a princess at my party when I was a kid, it was probably like Aurora. Nobody who looked like me. Nobody
Right.
who I could look up to and be like, I could be you one day. There's no barriers between
Right.
that.
Sort of like getting ahead of it, where it's not the sort of how do I put this? Where oftentimes it's done in retrospect of like, you know, a princess and with the acknowledgement of like, and here's representation. Instead, it's getting ahead of it, being like, we don't even need to open up the representation conversation because you never felt unrepresented. And you're
Exactly.
doing it when their minds are still very, because how young are these kids?
I mean, I've done parties for like a 1-year-old before.
Wow.
I think the oldest I've done is like an 11-year-old. I would say the sweet spot is probably between like 4 and 7-year-olds.
That is like the prime sort of like
Yeah.
developmental, where like everything that you internalize throughout the rest of your life, that is, you're going off of that age group. So having
Yeah.
these kids see people that look like them at this impressionable age. That feels very important.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for sitting down with me today.
Thank you for having me.
Fantastic conversation. This is actually the first time that we've ever met in person. So it's fantastic to meet you. I am so happy that you're going to be involved in Rising Colors. Is there anything in particular that I don't know if you have, and I can edit this part out if you don't want to include it. Do you have anything particular planned for the event yet?
Oh yeah, I got the whole set list.
Already?
Yeah, I'm working on an outfit.
Okay.
I will be singing a song from the prom.
Okay.
Other than that, I feel like I need to maintain a little mystery.
I am very happy for the mystery.
Surprises.
All right.
But it is all queer musical theater. Listening to this interview over, you could probably predict one song that I might sing based on a character that I have mentioned multiple times.
Okay.
You might be able to guess one of her songs that I might sing.
Okay.
I'll leave that little that little breadcrumb.
All the more
there.
reason for you to listen to this again.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll be able to catch Sydney on Friday, June 12th at the Christ First United Auditorium. The doors open for all the art vendors at 6:30. Show will begin at 7. We hope to see you there.